are a dime a dozen, and when you've got so many that are willing to make those types of calls, it can give you too many tools to work with. But hey, they're trying to make a play in it's of itself, and they're actually finding the entries they need to break into this B bomb site, but they've been thinned out. Just down to these two players that remain. Team Neo starting this T side. Edward holding a good defense and dropping the bomb again. Now just left to Freiburg to clutch things out.
1 on 3, but every one of them is coming in from the same angle. If he decided hitting those shots, maybe there was an opportunity, but Bondik closes off all avenues immediately. That'll be the first round going the way of Edward very, very convincingly. Nice to see him sharp on the pistols as always, even if he was looking a little bit sleepy, as he said himself. He was still fragging out with the USBs.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to wake up. You know, this game, this the next game against Team Kenny as well. Can't afford to fall asleep.
Oh. Missing out on a few of these first kills. Bondik will not be able to stop the bomb from being planted. Edward, good damage dealt out, and they will be able to regain control of this bomb site quickly, but the money's been salvaged. Freiburg for a second there. When he switched over to the burst mode for the Glock, I'm thinking, okay, so he might just get a triple headshot.
No. I mean, you would have to have really been dreaming if you thought the triple headshot was coming out that distance. But, yeah, I mean, ambitious. He was hoping to get pushed, I think, from the low ground, very close, but distance was the game for DemQ. No problem. Hey, I mean, you know, we talked a bit about the Bondik holds. Looking good once again, in spite of the fact that they got that bomb planted. They thinned out the numbers. You know, that's about as much damage as you could anticipate for a pistol buy. Probably more than you anticipate, actually. So if they win this round, it does put Team Edward's money in a bit of a dire spot, and they've got their hands on an AWP as well, and a pick off of it. Lovely way to start.
Touchdown, of course, was one of the players who we didn't get a chance to talk about much, but yesterday was looking great on the Deagle on the AWP as well. Trades out towards his B bomb site, and Olaf and Forrest have got complete control already. Team Edward forced into a save.
Yeah, a hard spot. Like you said, we didn't really talk too much about Tudson because he was actually one of our last-minute replacements. I think the initial roster that was floated was with Guardian, but Tudson replaces Guardian. As with all things, the new replaces the old. Don't know, I think Guardian was just maybe busy.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's probably the most likely of them. But player that actually kind of got started via the UK scene, which is a little odd. You know, he can speak English, speak Polish. Orper has been kind of dealing with a health issue that, you know, ahead of the RMRs, he's hoping to see full recovery because he was one of the teams that qualified, or a part of one of the teams that qualified, rather.
Indeed, he was not the entire team.
No. In fact, there is no I in team, funnily enough. I've heard that saying.
Do not agree with that saying. But, hey, I don't think it's something that is too debatable. At least as far as the spelling of the word is concerned.
We've had some greats that have been the I in team, you know. So
yeah. There is an I in Navi. That's something we know for sure. In every meaning of the word. Neo faking out a lurk, as he is just going to be playing behind the smoke continually. No mid presence from the CTs whatsoever, so Freiburg and company are going to be finding nothing for their trouble.
Resmoke a window. There should be a timing where Freiburg can phase this smoking connector and shouldn't be too exposed from any other angles.
Oh, flashbang goes way too deep. Bondik is going to be telling off his teammate for that one later on. You know, immediately capitalizes. Freiburg's got a timing and a grenade in his hands, not doing him any favors, but at least he's not taken down. Quickly recovering control of the window, and with this they can move back and fetch the bomb.
Oh, wow. Nice clean shot there from DemQ War as well. Hitting the tag. It's a one tag, one bag, but still one man down. Bomb taking its time to make its way over towards the A site. So if they're able to get a couple more of these peaks, more aggressive angles here from Team Neo, it could certainly thin things out and actually convince themselves to go for this retake.
Oh, they are starting to move up, and oh, Tutson! Gunsru gets the kill. Guns being switched out, not going to be doing anything. Waro Picks up the AK and he'll just be looking to save that one home. Fortis looks like he's having fun. Just pushing straight out into CT to take the duel on, yeah.
Space Taker. Hey, Waro getting a couple of kills, but Neo has him locked in. Oh, from Neo. We talked a little bit about how on the VP roster that started CSGO, you know, there are many AWPing options. Felt like everybody tried their hand at it in different maps, different positions. Neo wasn't one that overplayed that AWP, but towards the tail end of his tenure on that organization did certainly shift into more strict AWPing duties.
Oh.
Doesn't look good so far on his AWP and the duties he's fulfilling.
Keep an eye out on Demq because he's pushed all the way up through mid, gets the quick kill on Forest. There is a
oh my god, he's behind them.
Option for him to find another. No, okay. Neo is watching out for it, so they are concerned, but another kill being found by Waro, and every one of these rounds will be expensive for this T side. Waro will make sure of it. That.
Oh wow.
Beautiful shot, long range as can be.
Yeah, and a fast reaction. Teammate was flanking him too, but they won't go for this. They've done the damage, they've got the weapons that they need to drop down, so 2 rifles to be recovered into this next. No chance that they do any more with this one. Actually got their hands on that AWP as well. Forgot that Tudson has fallen, so more than anyone would have bargained for, and like you said, more expensive rounds, but rounds nonetheless here for Team Neo.
Probably might just end up being caught out over here, but he uses the bomb explosion sound to mask his footsteps, so he's gonna be fine. So Edward's company will be saving forward those 2 weapons, and that gives them a buy going into this next one, and some cash saved up as well.
I want to see where the AWP tries to position itself. Smoke in the window means that he can do nothing with the spot. Edward will actually be pressured heavily in towards connector.
Oh.
The nade is great though, and they get a kill off of short. Edward, the double though, round that smoke. Freiburg tried to sneak past it, but Olaf, or rather, it's Olaf that tried to sneak past it. Freiburg picked off of a catwalk, and a man advantage found by the captain.
Solid shooter from Edward, keeping himself alive over here as well. Neo now makes his way past the flashbang, will force the up off. Neo spots it out, Warrior's gone. Tudson peeks forward as well. Suddenly that man advantage lost and reversed. Edward trying to make his way back up the stairs, reveals his position. The spam to get nothing, but Forrest will be exposed soon after. And that's a freebie for Edward, one that might be the loss he gets if he peeks up short again. Deep molly forces Tudson back. Protocol's looking good, but Neo's looking better. The chosen one is still on the server. A smoke down, and Jackie without the kit might just be forced to try and stick it. Spam is there, Jackie peeks back over, Neo's gone, and now comes out this defuse attempt again. Jackie needs to stick it, he doesn't have time, and Tudson's realized it. Jackie's retreat comes through, and again they make it an expensive round, but at the end of the day, it's still Neo to take it on.
Yeah, they just keep on winning these rounds, and this is another one of these things where Neo have actually shifted up the attention. They've been so dominant in sort of establishing this mid control and winning these mid fights that you see how much of a priority that is for Team Edward. They actually wanted to set up for sort of a fast A-side split. That's why the AWP of Tudson was in Palace, kind of setting up for the rotate player from jungle. But we saw some nice entries to break into that A site, and Neo with the pivotal kill that secured it.
Forrest is just continuing to probe out. There's Bondic on the bomb side. Needs to be very careful. Not watching the right angle, and Forrest will decapitate him. Edward now has to contend with one of the many goats on the server. He's been consistently getting the better of him. Forrest will end up falling.
I mean, Forrest does look as sharp as ever. Timing's been great. Olaf he's holding for the short side swing, and Demq will oblige. Takes 2 to tango, and dancing partner, I mean, Demq's not going to be happy with the lessons he's received. Olaf got out as well. They're trying to re-aggro and get some info here on Team Edward, but Jackie's got his suspicions. Util over at the A bomb site.
Good positioning from Jackie though. Oh, he's gray screen as he goes back into it to try and see if there's any flashes coming over. Jackie looking good on the spray transfer. The A1 coming into play, but with Tudson's quick kill and Olaf coming back over, this won't be too easy for round. The one to make a difference, or potentially make a difference, is Waro. And as he starts to creep up, Olaf shouldn't be expecting this either. He's more concerned with the angle coming in from stairs. Waro reveals his position, spots out the bomb. Olaf is making his way over, takes his time, makes it silent, wants to get the jump on him. And this looks like he might not be able to do so. Waro spots out his shoulder, shoots him through the wall.
Yeah, great job there from Waro on the flank. I think that's even a position where Olaf wasn't 100% certain where Tudson had died from, because, you know, USP is silent. Might have been comms coming off at the same time. He just moved out of position there from Tudson, so if he'd been sat and actually shot in the side of the head, would have been more confirmation of the position, but Olaf seemingly unaware of where Waro was positioned. Team Edward, minor advantage back into this. Full util, full exec over this A bomb site, and Neo trying to close the gap with the MAC-10.
Olaf's already in with the rest of his team. They're trying to make this a speedy round, but Demq on the other side is traded out very quickly. Olaf moving fast, gap in the smoke, can't be exploited, but in the meanwhile, the A1s are trying to be tricky around the corner. And around the corner lies Neo in wait, the MAC-10 to strike through. Olaf to move in as well. He's looking for the second, but Jackie will punish that over aggression. Meanwhile, the bomb can be planted over towards default. And as it goes down, once again funneling through on the retake, through connector. Things are going to be very difficult without anyone to come through on a flank, on a lurk, on a secondary position. So Jackie, it's a solo expedition for him instead. If he can get some kills, maybe a chance for him. He's managed to move past, but Tudson to spot it. Forrest will fall. This palace was being covered, but Waro's got no chance and he knows it.
They're going to bow out. Moving around the bomb site as well was Tudson, so if Waro had stuck around, would have likely been swung from 2 different angles. And you can see on the hunt for an extra, better weapon. In fact, even maybe grabbing this AWP. Waro caught repositioning, but Tudson falls. Neo on the hunt right behind, and Waro's just watching for it. Great watchful eyes here from the AWPer of Team Edward, but no round win around it. I want to see if they change the pace up here for Team Neo over towards that B-bomb site. You saw how they tried to go for this fast execute, but things were slowed down by good utility and maybe some improper spacing. You saw just how aggressive Olaf wanted to be. Once that util fades, that's where Waro can be the most deadly. So you see them focusing actually towards that B-bomb site. Now Jackie is pulled into action.
Oh, watch out for Demq because he's about to take a big duel and he finds Freiberg. Jackie's Mag-7 is going to continue to rain down destruction. Not a single loss on the CT side. Team Edward are welcoming them into the B-bomb site with open fire.
Yeah, and we saw the same thing happen for Jackie when they were against Team Pasha. Same kind of circumstances, trying to get out of the B-bomb site, and Jackie getting the double kill with the Mag-7. Man does good work. Probably the most economical way that you can get your hands onto a rifle. $1,600 and a free upgrade? Don't mind if I do.
Meanwhile, this is where you start to wonder about those deagles and whether we're going to see any of these force by rounds that Neo was actually able to get up against Team Biceps a few times over. Rather, Team Heaton a few times over. Not the Biceps. Wanda takes the peek. Tudson's the only one to get the frag so far, and it looks like this pistol round will not be one of their many wins on the low buys. Some sharp shots, though.
Yeah, nice stuff from Olaf, but has to be able to get out of there. That's the bomb, and man, War's just been so sharp. Having a monster of a CT performance on this AWP, and current teammate Demq will finish off the job. This dynamic duo that's been brought in, another one of these teams that had qualified to that RMR, kind of talked about the fact that they team with Boros, who, you know, was stepping in for Team Michaelele today.
Yeah.
A little Team Chem as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, it's just so funny to see all these Glocks going towards A ramp and walking there, seeing the smoke there. Well, guess we better run back to mid instead.
Guess we're out of ideas in this one.
We've got one flash, better use it well, and that is at least as good as a deal as you could really hope for in these Glocks so far. Warro's peeking back into them. Could have maybe been a few mistakes behind that, but if you're hitting your shots, you can't really make too many complaints, can you?
Yeah, a little curious what Warro was up to. You know, he's kind of jumping, I know, to see the underpass, but considering the amount of numbers that they saw funneling out of top mid, you would have assumed that he would just simply take those fights first, but he was being extra cautious. Just, it looked like he was being cautious while being not, you know, like he was kind of jump peeking while he was fully exposed to the window.
It's like people who buy Bitcoin to future-proof themselves. It's cautious, but it doesn't make sense. Warro finds Stutson, brings him down. Neo's the only one to refrag so far. Had an opportunity for another, but can't quite pair it together. Forrest this time replacing Freiberg, going up catwalk, and he does spot out a player over inside connector. Olof gets another straggler as well. And suddenly with a kill apiece, they've brought it back to a 3-on-2.
Warro's around this smoke, so Forrest actually should be a freebie. Oh god, no, if Warro plays it like that. Tried to go round the smoke, but Forrest caught a glimpse just before things got out of hand. Bondic 1v3 on the A-bomb site. Palace, I don't know if it'll be accounted for.
It shouldn't be, at least not with the way people are shaping things up. Bombs being planted. Neo's a freebie. Bondic spotted the second as well, but he didn't go for Olaf initially. A mistake that will be heavily punished as the 6th round is secured from Team Neo, and they keep it even and they keep it Steven.
Yeah, target priority is so crucial in close moments like that. Bondic sort of isolated to Olaf first. The planter wouldn't have been able to pull his gun out in time. Hard choice to make. Split-second decisions. Actually, probably smaller increments than that. You know, a fraction of a second you're looking at. I wonder who takes the reins in the rest of this round. Oh, man. What on earth? Freiberg, what an entry. Edward's playing the trigger discipline game as well. The full flash, that almost gave away where Edward was, but nobody clears it. And so it's almost a free double, but Forrest holds on to his ex-teammate for dear life.
Don't worry. I will save you.
I can't believe
Save me
that.
from what? Oh my god, there's someone behind me. I don't know what the Swedish accent is like, guys. I'm sorry. I really should go out and learn some of the accents. The only one I know is the French one.
Oh my goodness. What I would love to hear the comms on that. He's behind you!
I think it's shoot first, come later in that circumstance.
Banana Man, no!
Oh god. I don't know if you know about the bananas in pajamas action figures, but those were an actual thing as well back in the day. So
Oh wow!
yeah.
I remember the program. You know, I remember the bananas and pajamas like.
because I didn't know there was a TV show. We just had the action figures over here. Jackie, 1-on-4, trying to hold on to the salt for dear life, and life could not get any dearer when he's being chased down. Forrest will give himself up, wants to get that kill. You know he's feeling bloodthirsty.
Man, so important that they hold on to that AWP though. It's been a real crutch, I think, for the CT side. Even in the closer rounds where Neo are getting the entries, War has actually been just kind of indomitable when it comes to rotating into the action or picking off the numbers before things get out of hand. Get a chance out of this round. Freiberg very quick-footed through the connector, and hoping that somebody gives him a peek. Top ticket booth will oblige, but no shots hit.
Ray smokes over towards middle, as it is still Forrest who is getting antsy over in the B apartments. Olaf to fall, who's hoping to pair up with Forrest, a Swedish dynamite duo, but Not quite getting those frags.
Whether or not Tudson will pull the trigger and be a little explosive with this AWP. It's been a very slow, crunching round here from Team Neo. Freiburg actually another forward position, but nobody's going to be around that corner once it comes to it. Edward actually forcing the issue. Trying to pressure them off of an A-side play, but 50 seconds left. They're going to have to make a choice sooner or later.
Would love to have a flash over here if you're Edward, but instead he's just going to try and go for information. Shots being hit. He's very low, and Tudson will take advantage of that. Immediately moves back out, trying to pre-fire in behind Waro. But Waro had found solace in triple. 25 seconds. Bomb yet to be revealed. Freiburg had the option of trying to make a play over towards that B bomb site, but decides not to exercise it. Tudson's basically revealed the fact that they are headed over towards this A bomb site, and with Forest Flash this should be confirmed. War is fully blinded out as he's forced off the angle, and with this Tudson can cover off while the bomb is being planted, but Tudson has failed his duty entirely. Freiburg now left in 4 seconds. He's got to hit some clean shots. Won't be happening, and now he's got to fight to keep himself alive, and that won't happen either. Money will not be found, and for this last round, Team Neo looking worse for wear.
So dangerous for them to be double swinging like that as well when they have already stopped the plant. They could have just immediately sat back because there was no chance for him to get his hands on the bomb, but they wanted to make sure that he died as well after time, died as well without any sort of weapon to bring forward into the next round. Look, this buy is not ideal. Around the smoke. Oh, wow. Tudson actually gets the upper hand. Waro, a rare miss, but the Tudson double is big.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Keeps the fight going. Even so. Being this slow, Tudson mollies out the possibility of a ladder room player, and now with this he can start to move back up. The bomb is planted, or rather it should have been planted. Neo takes the one angle that would have been exposed to Bondic. Now they've got to recover it and go for more. Tudson even knows where these players are coming in from. He's got it in his mind's eye, but not Jackie. Jackie's the one who catches him off guard, and now it's only Freiburg left in the 1-on-2. He's waiting for them to push into him. Sharp shooting is what's going to get him out, and he's doing a great job of it. Freiburg will get it done anyway. 8-7 for Team Neo.
Wow, yeah, what a half this ended up being for Freiburg and Tudson towards the tail end of this. A 5-piece between the two of them to at least take things the full distance, you know, about as close as this half could have been. Team Edward were running away with things, especially with how dominating that AWP presence was. All these young guns really showing up for this Ukrainian squad. But now doing it on the T side will be where things are really tested, because I think Team Neo, we saw some of the protocols look very solid when it came to the CT side. And, you know, you get some prime positions for some of these legendary players. 4 players stacked up on the B bomb site, and currently Edward's squad is over in that direction. Oh, Neo's getting aggressive. He might be able to catch up this timing, but he's got to fight his way out now. No chance for a retreat without some headshots. Instead, he'll have to settle for a 1-for-1. And information of the fact that they are backing off, and they might think that this is going to be only that one player with not too many behind him, and they're playing rotate over. 1-3-1 setups have become more common the CT side pistol, but they are going to find the C-bomb side completely empty. Bondix called it. Yeah, good bluff call overall here from Team Edward, and the reposition is going to get cut off. Waro is such a nuisance into the window room, even on the T side of things. Olaf does get the kill right back, so this is still on. There's still a possibility, but they need to find these kills quick. Forrest and Olaf. No duels to be taken, and when they finally do, it's Edward on the other side. The one round you can always count on him for is the pistol. Edward making sure there's no chances whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, this is an overall great call. You could see when they set up, they had 3 players over at the B-bomb site, but they had these 2 players working their way through the underpass. So as soon as that smoke goes, that's their prompt to move up connector, get themselves into window. and cut off some of these rotates towards that B bomb site, because that's where they're trying to call the bluff. And after the bomb is spotted, they make the reposition with the rest of the team as well, after they'd already secured some of those rotationary positions. So, very meta way to think about things there for Team Edward. Didn't just try and get it out of the way, try and brute force it. Very tricksy moves.
Mm-hmm.
Want to see if Team Neo can at least make the rounds super expensive throughout the entire first half. That's what Team Edward are very good at doing, despite the fact they're losing some of those rounds.
Freiburg's demise comes through. Will they be expecting Dudson around the corner? That expense could still be clocked out. These invoices are going to have to be brought forward eventually. Waro turns around. This is where Dudson can take his opportunity. Finds out. Quick kill. Second man around the corner in window will threaten as well. Olaf to make sure that Dudson cannot be refragged too easily. But now that his demise has been guaranteed, it's all about Forrest. And, well, Forrest has been chopped right down.
Neo is on a fast flank, but getting up off of short will be a little bit difficult to get too much impact from it. His hands on an actually no, not an AK, it's a Glil. Planting for him, so any sort of free kill he would have hoped to achieve from this position, his position now known, and gets nothing for it. Only the one casualty so far, and it feels like it's going to be trapped at that. One opportunity, one chance here for Tutson to maybe get a weapon and retreat. Anything extra. I mean, he has to even be worried about the bomb killing him, to be quite honest. He's nicked his Galil. He ran away with it. Tutson was actually like waiting for his time to go pick that up and then maybe go save or maybe get his hands on an AK. But they just ran away with it. Okay, it's a different weapon instead, so...
Fine, I'll just take his weapon instead.
Yeah.
Now what are you gonna do to me, huh?
I was trying to be a pacifist.
I was trying to help you guys out. Yeah, why'd you gotta make me go back to my old life? Please don't force fire on this AK, guys. Okay, they're not going to. Just some P250, some Deagles dropped over as well, so there's going to be a chance maybe for them to do something. Would like to see, okay. That's the ultimate instant window smoke.
I can't believe they smoked T-spawn so quick.
Wow, they're so fast. Might have slightly missed the timing on that one, but hey, at least you've got to appreciate the lineup. Jackie is appreciating Tuts and lining up right into his crosshair. Big
play, small gap. Olaf was watching it, but Warroad's too sharp. 3 on 5 in what felt like an instant. That AK has not found too much action. Tutson was eliminated at the very start, and the one who wields it now, no armor. I don't think Warren knows where he got shot from. He's been tagged by that USP, but...
Oh my god.
The AK for Neo is gone.
Well, it just looks like he's playing some sort of wipe rack map. Turns around with a wide swing, fires him down. There you go. Knows he's there. Seen him there 100 times before.
Yeah, he's been somebody that people have had their eye on from in the scene for quite some time. I think they're, you know, like many players on the come up, there are some suspicions. The guy does seem to have some very, very solid timings, and he's been sharp on that AWP as well. It's super impactful how he's been playing in this game. Waro is, he has been good for 2Ks, 3Ks. I don't think we've seen a 4 just yet, but God does it all.
Give it time, he'll find it. Olaf's hoping to find a kill onto Edward, who is still lurking in here. The bomb's been left quite far behind, so there's still plenty of opportunity to wiggle around and change your mind about where you want to go. Spots Edward out through the gap in the wood?
Oh.
The beams? Don't really know what those are called.
Scaffolding?
Beams. I think they're beams.
Maybe gone for?
Yes, it's the scaffolding is like the entire thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's one part of the scaffold. I would
Okay.
Maybe said, but unsure.
Point is, there's a hole there, and you can see.
Scaffolding where I'm from is made of bamboo, so you know.
Quite like bamboo. Neo would like to be able to bamboozle their way out of this round, get a couple of quick kills. And Neo is going to be the one called to order. The B-side hit is being planned out.
Well, there is a fast flank here from Olaf, so it's all about timings, and the fact that there's a smoke down and all these flashes are sailing over, there could really be a chance for Olaf to get the backstab, but they're actually diverting. They're going underpass.
Well, this is going to be a very big change because Tutson now gets called to order. Needs to get a sideline on the connector. Makes the first one look easy. Spotted out the second as well, but the repeat gets him nothing. Neo takes out the lurker, and Tutson is staking out his weapon and throwing it away. He's not getting anything from it. He's thinking, why the hell did I buy this piece of junk?
Wow. I mean, it seemed like such an awkward maneuver to make, but given how fresh that smoke was into the apartments, felt maybe as if that was their only choice, but there was a real urgency there and a real timer that was set because of what Olaf was up to. Very awkward looking late round scenario, immediate call to plan B after plan A lasted about 3 seconds.
Woo. Okay. That's one way to get the shot, Tutson.
Like the Tutson's been taking some of these pre-fires, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think many people would be confident enough to just pre-fire at angles in a game that has the stakes like this.
I think a lot of people are also just able to get so much information from where the op is positioned when it's like a traditional team, because that's such a giveaway to how many setups that you can possibly run on the CT side. So a lot of IGLs can just take that plus one extra flash and they're like, oh, well, this is what's going on across the entire map, guys.
A jiggle stalemate.
Oh, well. Freiberg has decided that he will not jiggle, he'll hold.
Let's see who jiggles back into the action. And Demq is the one that strikes. For one trade, but yeah, Freiberg's position is just too strong, and the follow-up should be easy enough. Yeah, War has been sharp, but would have to been lightning fast for that one. Freiberg was holding for exactly that peak, and it's an equalizer. We're back to 10 and 10 a pop.
Freiberg has looked really good this entire game long, honestly. Some of those last rounds towards the end of the first half, but now even the CT side, not necessarily in the most actionable positions, but he still gets it done.
You've put that song into my head. Sipping on red, red wine.
I only know like one part of the song, to be honest, so.
Driving in my feet. You really like to see.
Right,
We've been seeing a lot of Tutson
Tutson.
AWPing, and yeah, it's been really good. He has been pretty laser focused, and you know, not having the same impact that Wara was on that CT side, but many more rounds to come.
Poor Bondic. Flash is great as well. Freiberg's having a good old time.
Look at the synergy.
Oh, just the two left. Now you've got to climb up through connector. Team Neo, if they can keep their 4 players alive, this is where money starts to be built up. Oh my god, he just faces. He faces!
Yeah, he didn't move a muscle. He just changed weapons. He's like, come on, one more.
Try me.
The teamwork, the synergy, the cooperation. Any more corporate buzzwords you remember? All of them. Doing a great job working together and standing in place and standing with all these legends for the Team Neo squad. Edward finally on the back foot, and talked about how the defensive end might be the turning point. It seems to be the one that has certainly shifted the focus and shifted the attention onto whether Edward can find these gaps and find exploitable angles. Freiberg, timing almost missed, but the adjustment is great.
Flashbang goes a little bit awry. I was wondering how that one blinded Neo, but just hit the side of the wall. But it's Edward who actually finds Freiberg, and the better of him is this time going to be Waro, who also gets connector control. With this, they've got full A-site control, but the bomb's still very far away. Back in spawn. Bondic to recover and try to bring back, but the time that gives them means Forest can quickly bring Edward back down to the ground. And Tudson does the same to Waro, a shot that Jackie managed to hit earlier on. Forrest spots out the last remaining player, and there should be easy pickings.
Thought for a second that Bonding might somehow find the upper hand on that fight. Was ducking out of the sightlines of Forrest for a long time, but Forrest was ready to pull on that hair trigger. Very fast reactions and good shots. I think even with the entry that War was able to get, just didn't feel over-panicked there from Team Neo. They pulled themselves a little bit further into the lead. We saw a nice tricky maneuver from Edward in the pistol round. We saw the nice conversion afterwards. But since the rifles have been out in full force here for Team Neo, the tone has certainly shifted. You know, we're not ending up in a lot of these post plants. We're not ending up in clutch scenarios here in the second half. It has been either the bomb goes down or it's denied.
Are they just chilling in base, hoping that the utility is up?
Hey, I mean, you don't see many of these in today's game. Don't know if Edward's, you know, answering the door or something, but it could even just be a good old-fashioned existence round. I think it was existence, right?
It was an existence round, yes.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. It wasn't an existence round. It was an exist round.
Existence? Yeah, I mean, that's where my memory might just be completely Mandela affected by whichever one you suggested. But yeah, just the idea of using this round as a bit of a timeout, just to gather your thoughts and think of an idea for the next instead of using an actual timeout. You know, chew through a lot of the utility that they might use for anti-rush or anything of the sort.
I quite like this in scrims, especially if you're just if your team's just completely messed up. Take one of these rounds off and chill out. Neo, however, in the meanwhile, has got himself 2 quick ones, and he's just looking to farm up because he knows Forrest is here on backup. And what a backup to have.
Three-round discrepancy and only 3 rounds left for Neo to cinch this one away from Team Edward. Started off today with a nice win for the Ukrainian squad, but this ragtag group of legends that Neo has assembled, you know, I feel like everybody else has gone different directions with their rosters, but Team Neo understood the assignment.
Yes. Oh, Pekin and Freiberg's a freebie.
Master Flash.
Yeah, one to take home for sure.
Solo players.
MQ is looking to try and cheat past this Molotov as well. This is so nicely played. Oh my goodness. This is reminiscent of the Alexei B Molotov back in OG and Dust 2, but maybe I can talk a bit more about that later on. This mod in particular, of course, gives DemQ the space to move up, while the stairs player might be thinking that there is no gap there. Edward finds Olofmeister, and it's back to a 5-on-3.
Yeah, Bonding's got the bomb, and with this man advantage, there should be some clear pathing towards this bomb site. Still have to be a little concerned about a ramp push. That wasn't something that was full cleared by the rest of the squad, but nobody's peeked it. All the CTs are grouped up in spawn instead. And Bonding's still a little hesitant even coming out of Palace because there is no smoke down, there is no molly, no flash that is being lined up to help him get out of here. So finally, Ramp player comes back and Bonding does take the face. So bomb not even the priority right now. They're both grouped up. And you can see Neo is just waiting for his chance to strike while Forrest takes all the attention.
Molotov is going to be running out and Forrest is going to be taking the charge. In the meanwhile, as soon as he goes for the reload, Neo knows that's his time to strike. Comes in with a clean shot. Forrest with the follow-up as well. There's still 2 players to deal with, Connector and Tetris apiece. A smoke down at the bomb would surely help, but Neo has a lot to contend with. Grenade goes in deep. Flashbang for Connector. Neo's going for the defuse. Peek out over from Tetris. Neo's been able to spot it out. Takes the duel, wins it outright, and right back over he goes. Connector player spotted as well, and who better to do it than Neo and Forrest?
Oh, the 1.6 duo that you wish you had never had to see, never had to face up against in the server, and they pull off a 2-on-4? I mean, that's masterfully done. Just bouncing off each other, the goats.
God, man.
Neo came out so sharp as well to thin the herd, but who'd have thought, hand in hand, those two would pull off clutches.
Can you imagine if you had to face up against these guys in 1.6 together?
Yeah, dude, I mean...
Every round would have been like that.
Edward had to leave the server real quick. He was just like, I can't believe this. This is what we have to... I can't believe this.
I think he went off to like some sort of church or religious institute to be like, thank you God for not letting these two play together in 1.6.
So ridiculous.
God, look at that replay. Oh, it's just... Neo also, everything he does just manipulates out everyone. Honestly, this looks like Neo's just manipulating the game. He is the chosen one. He owns the Matrix. Wow.
Really looked like that was going to be a gimme round for Team Edward, but you never count those two out. And Forrest has had a fairly slow game, all things considered. You know, that first half didn't exactly treat him very well, but when it came back to the CT side, he's had much more impact, and that round is definitely the highlight of it so far.
That's also one just to take notes from. They played that so well. It's not even like Edward's team was making these massive mistakes or anything. It was just a combination of really nicely played sound cues. You know, Forrest continuing to give out those sound cues, gives the reload call. That's where they give the call. CT guys reloading, connected players being a bit more careful about other positions. Neo goes out, gets a quick pop. In the meanwhile, Forrest covers off his right wing as well. Look, every bit of that is just really fantastic coordination on a level where I don't even know if they were necessarily speaking all of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is a lot to do with feel and the circumstances of the round. And you see the value as well of Neo not exposing himself. You know, Forrest took all that attention. Neo never peeked out to swing with him or trying to alleviate some of that pressure. The fact that he was able to get a shot in the back of the head on the first connector player was because he didn't show his hand. Sometimes patience is a virtue. Take that one to your next class, to your next pug. Team Neo now definitely dictating the flow of this game. After a good start for Team Edward, have been on the back foot since the rifles, but Edward opens up. The man disconnected, reconnected about 17 times, but was ready to face Olofmeister. Man advantage, and hopefully one that Team Edward can hold on to this time.
I like that Team Edward is getting a little bit nerdy as well. They go for the double instance in the beginning of the round. That's something a lot of teams are trying to do these days. The instant top connector and the instant window smokes. Neo left over alone in that B bomb site. Right place to be stacking your players, but Neo's been one of your big ones for sure. Tudson. Catching the smoke, and he makes it look easy. Jackie's gone and the bomb is dropped, but I don't know if Tudson actually spotted that one out.
Yeah, hard to get the radar confirmation of whether that bomb was dropped when you're shooting around smokes like that. Edward might have a good timing, though, and all about whether or not these connector players get up in time. Freiberg's first kill is there. Edward still not peeking yet, allowing his teammates to scale in, but Tudson's got the kill with the AWP. Edward, all that remains, the captain that stands between them and setting up for match point. Edward, the wall bang, but Neo, Forrest, they were still what's left, and another close round that's not to be. Team Neo still ahead.
27 kills for Waro, and he's definitely slowed down in the second half, considering he ended the first one on, what, 18 or something like it? You can see that it's like I mean, without him just being on absolute god mode, it's looking a little bit more difficult for sure. Need some more activations. Last chance saloon for Team Edward, now all the way out, but Waro started things off really nicely. Moving forward is Jackie to get the second as well. A 3-on-5 immediately found. Freiberg is located and eliminated. Edward has consistently been getting the better of these A-side players, and with Waro taking a very non-traditional angle, it's only Forrest left alive.
Race Greens himself put the smoke down as a fake that he was trying to escape with his weapon. But Wasn't expecting such a fast peak. So good entries. I mean, Team Edward just go in for an explosive pop through middle, and they can find 2 kills instantly. You see it broke down the setup before it even got started there for Team Neo. It's converted into kill after the fact. So whether or not that's a replicatable round or not, on the underpass, it seems a bit of a difference of pace here from Forrest, trying to get it and insert himself into some forward positions. He got his kill.
Strong kill to find early, and Bondix had a rough time so far, but Olaf, that's actually a Molotov that's been extinguished by their own smoke and gives Olaf a one-way to work off of. In the meanwhile, one way might be going both ways, but Olaf good for the first, spotting out the second, did hear the tags for sure. Molotov to cover off his tracks, and Demq's getting lower and lower in hot pursuit, and it heats up even more so, can't even go through. With this, all of this comes down to what Waro can do as he's found some space back to the ladder room. Demq, not brought down, but has to play it very conservatively. Olaf instead isolates that duel. Waro's found out as well, and Edward, last remaining player, 1 on 5. Surely this is impossible.
Satvan the whole round. So patient, and Forrest will spring in. After pushing in at that last round, actually just took a very passive